Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're digging into a startling new claim about one of humanity's greatest wonders. And I mean that literally. For 4,500 years, they've stood there in the desert, silent and mysterious. But what if I told you that on March 15, 2025, two scientists announced a discovery that could change absolutely everything we thought we knew about the pyramids of Giza?
They're claiming to have detected a massive, and I mean massive, underground structure stretching 2 whole kilometers long right there beneath the Giza Plateau.
And get this, according to their data, this isn't just some simple tunnel. Nope. This hidden complex supposedly has 8 distinct vertical shafts that just plunge deep into the earth. And they even think they have spiral staircases. So, what's at the bottom of this incredible network? Well, their data is pointing to 2 colossal chambers. To give you some perspective, each one is roughly the size of a modern football field. Just try to picture that for a second. Okay, let's dive into this. A secret city under the pyramids? I know. It sounds like something straight out of a sci-fi movie. So how does this bombshell claim really stack up against the story we've all been told?
For over a century, the official story from archaeologists has been pretty clear. These magnificent structures are tombs, grand final resting places for 3 great pharaohs, Khufu, Khafre, and Menkaure. And to be fair, that makes sense. They did find stone sarcophagi inside. But here's where that official story gets a little weird. The stone sarcophagi they found inside the 2 largest pyramids, Khufu's and Khafre's, they were found completely empty. No mummies, no treasures, nothing.
The only mummy ever actually found was in the smallest pyramid, Menkaure's. But in a truly tragic twist of fate, the ship that was carrying its sarcophagus to Britain sank back in 1838. So, because of that one discovery, archaeologists have pretty much just assumed that the other pyramids were looted by ancient tomb robbers. Case closed, or is it?
That official explanation leaves just enough room for questions, right? But let's be real for a minute. How on earth could anyone possibly detect structures 2 kilometers underground without ever picking up a shovel?
Well, the researchers, a team of 2 named Corrado Malonga and Filippo Biondi, used this incredibly sophisticated technology called synthetic aperture radar, or SAR for short. And this wasn't some device they were using on the ground. This was on a satellite, orbiting 400 kilometers up in space.
But here is the catch. SAR signals can't actually penetrate solid rock. So, this is the crucial point. They didn't look through the ground. They were, in effect, listening to its vibrations. Think of it like this. If you tap on a box, an empty one sounds completely different from a full one. Well, they applied that same principle but on a planetary scale. See, the Earth is constantly vibrating. Just tiny little micro-vibrations from wind, traffic, even the flow of the Nile. And these movements travel differently through solid limestone than they do through an empty space. So, by analyzing thousands of satellite images, a computer could map these vibrational differences and generate a 3D model of what might be hiding below.
So let's move on and see how this groundbreaking, or maybe I should say ground-vibrating claim, has been received by the wider scientific community. As you can probably imagine, it's been controversial.
The reaction from mainstream archaeology was swift, and it was deeply skeptical. Prominent figures, like the famed Egyptologist Zahi Hawass, did not mince words. He basically dismissed the whole thing as a publicity stunt, just to attract attention.
So, the whole thing really boils down to this debate. The researchers see a discovery driven by data, and they're asking for permission to excavate. But the scientific community is hitting the brakes, arguing, hold on, this is just a computer model, it's not physical proof. And their point is, before you start digging at a priceless World Heritage Site, you first have to prove your technology actually works by testing it on a known, existing underground location.
And while the debate over this underground structure goes on, it just reminds us that the pyramids have always been a source of deep mystery. They seem to have secrets that are encoded in their very construction.
For instance, have you ever seen this? Some people have pointed out this incredible similarity. The geographic coordinate for the Great Pyramid is 29.9792458 degrees north. The speed of light is 299,792,458 meters per second. Is it just a mind-boggling coincidence that these 2 numbers, which rely on modern units of measurement, share the exact same sequence of digits? Or is it something more?
And it doesn't stop there. If you take the pyramid's slant height and you divide it by half of its base length, what you get is 1.618.
the golden ratio. That's a fundamental mathematical constant that you find all throughout nature, from seashells to flower petals.
Now, what's so astonishing about that is this so-called divine proportion was thought to have been formally defined by the ancient Greeks thousands of years after the pyramids were built, and yet the Egyptians appear to have used it with incredible precision. So, another coincidence?
So what are we really looking at here? A magnificent tomb with some seriously strange mathematical quirks? A forgotten power plant, maybe designed to harness Earth's energy like Nikola Tesla once believed? Or could it be something else entirely? A message written in stone that we just haven't figured out how to read yet? For now, the sands of Giza aren't telling.